Why did Argentina become a safe haven for so many high-ranking Nazi officers after World War II? Argentina's unique mix of political climate, vast geography, and hidden networks created the perfect conditions for certain individuals to evade justice after World War II. The country's leadership at the time, particularly under President Juan Perón, was sympathetic to former Nazis and fascists, offering them a safe haven. This was partly due to ideological alignments and a desire to gain skilled immigrants for Argentina's development. Geographically, Argentina's sprawling landscapes, remote areas, and dense forests provided ideal hiding places. These regions were difficult to access and allowed fugitives to live undetected for years. Additionally, secret networks, including the infamous Ratlines, played a critical role. These pathways, supported by sympathetic groups in Europe and South America, facilitated the escape of high-profile war criminals, ensuring their arrival in Argentina and helping them settle under new identities. Together, these factors made Argentina a hub for those fleeing justice. When World War II ended in 1945, the Allied forces led by the United States, the Soviet Union, and Britain were determined to bring Nazi leaders to justice. The Nazi regime had committed horrific crimes during the war, including the genocide of 6 million Jews in the Holocaust, and countless atrocities against other groups. The Allies believed it was essential to punish those responsible, to ensure justice and prevent such crimes from happening again. Nazi escapees and the global search for justice. Despite the Allies' efforts, many Nazis feared execution or imprisonment and managed to escape before they could be captured. Using secret networks, some fled to other countries, especially in South America, where they found refuge. Nations like Argentina, Brazil, and Chile became havens for these fugitives. High-profile Nazis such as Adolf Eichmann and Josef Mengele lived in hiding for years, sometimes with the help of sympathizers. During Juan Domingo Perón's presidency in Argentina, his political approach showed clear sympathies toward fascist ideologies. Perón admired the centralized power and strong leadership styles seen in European regimes like Nazi Germany and Fascist Italy. He was particularly influenced by the military strategies of Nazi Germany, which he considered efficient and effective. Argentina's immigration policies during and after World War II were notably lenient, which made the country an attractive destination for people seeking to escape Europe. At that time, Argentina lacked extradition treaties with many nations, which meant that those fleeing persecution or prosecution could settle without fear of being sent back. These conditions were ideal for former Nazis and collaborators who sought refuge after the war. Perón's government indirectly facilitated this by turning a blind eye to the influx of such individuals, often seeing them as skilled workers who could contribute to Argentina's development. These policies reinforced Argentina's reputation as a haven for controversial figures fleeing justice. After World War II, secret networks known as Ratlines were created to help former Nazis and other individuals escape Europe. These networks were organized by sympathetic groups and individuals, including Catholic clergy and former members of the Nazi regime. Ratlines provided false documents, safe houses, and transportation to help these fugitives evade justice. Many of these escape routes passed through key cities like Genoa in Italy and Madrid in Spain. From there, individuals boarded ships to South America, particularly Argentina, which became a favored destination due to its lenient immigration policies and lack of extradition agreements. These organized efforts played a major role in helping controversial figures start new lives abroad. After escaping Europe through Ratlines, many former Nazi officers settled in Argentina by adopting false identities. They blended into society by assuming new names, finding work, and living in quiet suburban or rural areas. Argentina's lenient immigration policies and lack of extradition treaties made it easy for them to avoid detection. Some individuals even became involved in local businesses or industries, using their skills and expertise to build new lives. Notable figures such as Adolf Eichmann, a key architect of the Holocaust, and Josef Mengele, infamous for his inhumane experiments in concentration camps, lived in Argentina for years under assumed identities. Eichmann worked as a factory foreman until Israeli agents captured him in 1960, while Mengele evaded capture and lived in hiding until his death. German immigrant communities in Argentina played a vital role in helping former Nazis settle and stay hidden. These communities, many of which had been established before the war, provided resources such as housing, jobs, and social connections. They often sympathized with the newcomers and helped them adjust to life in Argentina. After World War II, many high-ranking Nazi officials went into hiding to escape justice for their crimes. Some fled to remote areas in Europe, while others escaped to countries like Argentina, which became a known refuge. Groups like the Mossad, Israel's intelligence agency, played a critical role in tracking these fugitives. One of the most famous missions was the capture of Adolf Eichmann in 1960. Eichmann, a key architect of the Holocaust, was living under a false name in Buenos Aires, Argentina. The Mossad conducted a secret operation to locate, capture, and smuggle him to Israel, where he stood trial and was ultimately executed for his role in the Holocaust. This operation showcased the determination of survivors and nations to ensure that justice was served, even years after the war ended. Argentina faced widespread criticism for being a safe haven for Nazi war criminals. After the war, the Argentine government, under President Juan Perón, welcomed many Nazis, partly due to ideological sympathies and a desire for their technical expertise. However, as the world learned of this, Argentina's actions drew condemnation, particularly from allied nations. These countries saw Argentina's harboring of war criminals as a betrayal of the global effort to hold the Nazis accountable. After World War II, Argentina became a haven for Nazi war criminals for several reasons. First, the Perón regime shared some ideological sympathies with the Nazis, including authoritarian tendencies and a dislike of communism. This made Argentina a welcoming place for fleeing Nazis. Second, Argentina's location in South America, far from Europe, made it a strategic refuge for those escaping justice. Its distance and relative isolation made it harder for allied nations to track down fugitives. Lastly, there was a lack of immediate international accountability. After the war, the focus was on rebuilding Europe, and not all countries prioritized hunting down Nazis, allowing Argentina to act without significant consequences at the time. However, Argentina's decision to shelter war criminals had long-term consequences. It damaged the country's reputation on the global stage, especially as the world began to uncover the extent of Nazi atrocities. The capture of Adolf Eichmann in Argentina by Mossad highlighted the issue and brought international criticism. Argentina faced pressure to change its policies and confront its past, leaving a lasting stain on its history.